You're listening to part 2 of a Barefoot Lawyer Reports podcast covering a protest held outside the Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C. on March 25th, 2023, organized by the Young Americans for Freedom at the Catholic University of America, at which Chen Guangcheng and several notable human rights activists spoke. Well, speaking of a few of the activists, China Aid founder and president Bob Fu was there. We've had him on the podcast a couple of times, so it was great to see him. And there were 3 women there whose husbands have all been imprisoned by the Communist Party because of their activism. Guangcheng, could you tell us a little bit about them and their husbands, just to share their story?
Yeah. And the wife, one, her name is Chen Guangcheng. Her husband Chang Weiping, and the Communist Party put him in jail more than I remember 1,100 days in jail, but still not convicted. Only put him in jail. That is illegal,
Right. And he's awaiting trial, right?
Yeah. Another is Luo Shengchun. Her husband is Ding Jiaxi. He is my friend. Now the Communist Party put him in jail in my hometown. Not until now, still not convict him. Only put him in jail. Try to use that way to punish them. And another one is Shi Minglei. Her husband name is Chen Yuan. Just because Chen Yuan work in NGO to try to help the society to support justice, so the company put him in jail now. So the day before yesterday, I got a message from Chen Guangcheng. The company said they will postpone.
Postpone his trial, or
postpone his trial. Only, you don't know. They postpone 5 times.
Yeah. Well, it's an excuse because these men haven't broken any laws, but they're just holding them indefinitely in prison until their trial, is supposed to start, but it never will. Right, Guangcheng?
Yeah. That is the company. Yeah. So
it's just ridiculous. Well, it was incredible that we got to hear from these women and of several other people, including Bob Fu, and it was great to hear from you as well, Guangcheng. So, Guangcheng, what were some of your favorite parts of the protest as well?
For me, I think that the students prepare already a lot slogans. That is very good. Like a lot of people like the CCP not for me. So they comment about that. So I think this is why a lot of people watch that video, because I remember before West America usually just several thousand people watch their video, but this time, more than 50,000 watch that video. And another one I just mentioned, so in the news. So a lot of people watch that. That is a very good situation. So I think Gabrielle should prepare to do another big one. In the future we can work together too.
Definitely. What advice would you give to other student leaders who are looking to start protests and activism on these issues? As we mentioned, the Communist Party tries to inconvenience people as much as they can, and like we said, they're pretty much all bark and no bite here in the United States, thank God, right? So some people might be intimidated by them a bit, though. What advice and what would you tell a student leader who's thinking maybe, is kind of on the edge of whether or not they're gonna start, a protest or anti-Communist Party activism?
I'd say definitely don't let them intimidate you. That's their whole game plan, because they can't censor us. And that's what their goal is that they don't want opposition to be speaking out. So do not let them intimidate you, because quite frankly, you have the freedom of speech in the United States of America. You have the voice, you have the legal precedent, you have all of that behind you. So don't let the CCP scare you, because they can't really do too much to you if you're protesting. Now, obviously, the CCP does have reach across the world, right. But that shouldn't mean that we should be scared to speak up for what's right and defend human rights. That's freedom dies in darkness, and freedom dies in silence. And when you're unwilling to raise your voice, that's when powers such as the CCP or other authoritarian countries, they can utilize that and consolidate their power further.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Yeah, Guangcheng, do you have anything to say in addition to that?
Yeah, I think June 4th coming, right? That is special day, the Tiananmen Square.
The anniversary, yes.
Students, yeah. They kill a lot of young people in Beijing.
Yes.
So I think that maybe next step to do the protest, that is very good, I think.
Yeah, and like we said, like I mentioned towards the beginning of this podcast series, if anyone out there hearing this, especially young people who are interested in organizing protests or activism against the Communist Party, and would like to reach out to Guangcheng, whether that be to invite him to speak, invite him to record something, or just have our support, visit our website at catholic.edu/chr. It's crucial that our Center for Human Rights be as engaged with young people across the United States to give them the support that they need to stand against totalitarian and authoritarian regimes. Right, Guangcheng?
Yes. We live in a special country, so we have the special responsibility, not just for the US and for the whole world. So we should join hands together, be brave to face the evil and confront the CCP.
Yeah. It'll just get worse and worse. Gabrielle, any final thoughts that you have?
I'd say I'm glad that people joined us and are willing to raise their voices in support of the people imprisoned and oppressed by the CCP, and definitely ready to keep advocating for freedom across the world. And thank you so much for helping us out with this protest and for speaking, Guangcheng.
Thank you. Of course, we should work together in the future a lot.
Yeah,
absolutely, I agree.
And as we mentioned, the protest wasn't just a singular occurrence. Thanks to the power of social media, we can relive it and we can share it, and we can continue to put pressure on the Communist Party, which is why we always invite our viewers to share our content, share our podcasts. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, all over the place. You can find our links in the description. And visit our website, catholic.edu/chr. It's an incredible blessing for our center to be located in Washington, D.C. There's just so many opportunities to stay engaged in the human rights world. Several of the students in our MA in Human Rights program actually attended, which was fantastic to see. So be sure to share our content. And like we said, if any of you out there are interested in getting support for any kinds of activism against the Communist Party, feel free to reach out to us. So thank you guys so much for coming on our podcast, and thank you, Gabrielle, again for organizing it, and thank you, Guangcheng, for speaking and bringing people with such incredible stories to share. And we appreciate our viewers and listeners for tuning into another episode of the Barefoot Lawyer Reports. We hope you all have a great day.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, my friend. See you next time.